Hey, it's Ed here. Recently we've heard on the news that two of the survivors from the Parkland High School shooting took their own life. Now, was this survivor's guilt or was this, depression, PTSD from the shooting? I'm sure it was extremely traumatic for all of those involved, the teachers as well. And then the other morning I wake up and a young woman here locally had taken her own life. Now, she had been clean and sober for a little over a year, and it makes me wonder, was she self-medicating because of depression or mental illness? Or was the depression caused by the addiction? And unfortunately, we'll never know. One thing is for sure, most addicts have co-occurring disorder. But you'll notice on the news that you'll see the media will talk about one suicide and then several others pop up around the country. And they could be localized, they could be widespread. Happens in high schools, happens with celebrities, and it's a contagion or a cluster of suicides. And years ago there was a book called The Sorrows of Young Werther, and it was about a young man who took his own life, and this is several hundred years ago. And they noticed the effect that every time this book was released into a community, there was a cluster of suicides. So some communities actually banned this book. Now, what happens is, the way that I understand it, is people see that as comforting and a solution, and it triggers something in them that causes them to want to follow suit. And unfortunately, you can't take that back. And one thing we need to do is watch our teens and those around us for signs of behavioral change. Are there mood changes? Are they acting differently? Are they talking about things that they normally don't talk about? Are they isolating? And these are all important things that we need to be watching. And this is parents and teachers and all of us need to be watching this, because the problem is since the 1940s, suicide among teens has tripled. But in the last year, suicide rate for teenagers has increased by 70%, over 70% in some cases, depending on the race. But the important part is it's increasing, and we need to figure out why. Is it social media? Are we not teaching our kids coping skills? What is the real underlying problem? But we see many teens being bullied on social media, in schools, and everywhere you find a teen, they're being bullied, and we need to address this. Is that the cause? Is it depression? Are we over-medicating them? There's so many questions that I have about this, but we need to address it.